We see the tweets, and I wonder sort of what led to them. I imagine there was a conversation in Mexico ahead of that tweet coming out about the reception that the Mexican president would get in Washington should he go there next week.
That's right. Yesterday, there were rumors swirling around already that the Mexican president would cancel the meeting. And in fact, a lot of political public opinion leaders over here were actually arguing for that. So there was a debate going on online. Citizens were also pouring in and saying that they should actually cancel the meeting. So what happened today, even though it happened over Twitter, had been brewing since yesterday.
So, Isabella, was this a game of chess that went wrong, or was this just, some words thrown around that suddenly developed into a massive war of words?
It sounds like it's the second, the latter bit that you mentioned right there. It seems to be like it's a back and forth between the two presidents, the Mexican and the U.S. president, and it's all been happening on Twitter. Trump said this morning, after Mr. Peña Nieto said last night in a message also broadcast on Twitter, that Mexico would not be paying for the wall. Trump said this morning over Twitter that it's best to cancel the meeting, and so the Mexican president responded that even though they're willing to cooperate with the U.S., they would be canceling the meeting.
Isabella, help us here with the relationship between these two presidents, their administrations more broadly. I gather the foreign minister was instrumental in getting Donald Trump to Mexico when he was a candidate during the presidential campaign. Is there a sense that that was all for naught, that this relationship is kind of on the rails right now?
Well, the reality is that it's very unclear. I mean, lack of clarity is really what's driving Mexico at the moment. Mr. Videgaray, as you well mentioned, was the one that instrumented the meeting in which Trump came down here as a presidential candidate. And he left government shortly after as a type of backlash, and then he came back precisely in the hopes that he would be a good person to bring together both governments. So at the moment, we're getting mixed messages. Trump yesterday sent the peso in a rally, in fact, by speaking positively about Mexico and Mexican officials and the negotiations that could happen. And then today said that he wouldn't be wanting this meeting. So really, it's more a lack of clarity than anything else.
Yeah, we're showing the Mexican peso now, the US dollar, versus the peso having a wild day. And right now, the peso is 1% weaker, but it started the day stronger. And if you look in my Bloomberg terminal, you can see that the Mexball index over the last 2 days, there was that big jump down today when it was clear that war of words was escalating. Look, obviously emotions are running high. Plenty of businessmen in Mexico also tweeting. Vicente Fox was one I noticed with very colorful tweets. Is this the type of thing that could go away in an instant if both leaders were to meet or one leader were to back down, do you think, Isabella?
Well, you know what? At this point, it's all uncharted territory. I guess what matters the most is when we actually get some concrete agreement, whether it's on tariffs, whether it's on border taxes or not, that goes around NAFTA, whether it's a complete renegotiation or whether we're keeping some of the things that are already in line. This is what people are actually looking for. I mean, borrowing costs for the Mexican government have also gone up significantly since Trump was elected. So it doesn't seem like this is something that just could go away very easily. We'd need to see point by point what will be the future of trade between the two countries.